Hi everybody, and welcome to the update from the ANU Medical School from today, the 9th of October 2020. Now, not much has changed in terms of travel restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The restrictions for Victoria remain in place. The Sydney LGAs have been updated and they continue to include Campbelltown City, Liverpool City and Parramatta City. Please check the ANU COVID-19 site because there's some hotspots in Sydney that have been added. Dr. Thomas Ward would like to welcome you. He's an orthopaedic surgeon and he is now a clinical senior lecturer of the ANU Medical School. Welcome and congratulations. Also to announce that Dr. Nick Cotsworth, who was the Deputy CMO, has been appointed as the Executive Director of Medical Services at Canberra Health Service, and he will start his role there next week. Congratulations and welcome, Nick. And very excitingly, Valeria and Alexander Demyanenko have become parents. They have a little daughter, Agafia Alexandra, who was born last week on the 29th of the 9th, had good APGAR scores and a great birth weight. Here are pictures of her. Congratulations to the two of you, and we look forward to seeing more photos as Agafia grows up. Now, you may have heard about the federal budget, and here's just a little summary how it affects either research or higher education, or possibly us here at the medical school. So $50.3 million over 4 years have been allocated for capital works and expansion of the IHMT program. There have been close to $300 million over 4 years given to 12,000 extra Commonwealth supported higher education places, but these are for areas of national priority. And in addition, an impressive $1 million has been given for research, and this is particularly around COVID treatment, of course vaccines and research around vaccines and treatment, but also $6.6 billion over 4 years into medical research and clinical trials. We don't really know how that affects particularly the university budget yet, but there are some very good news in this. Now, as you know, the ANU recovery plan was out for consultation and that closed last week. The feedback is being and has been summarised, and a more detailed response to that is expected next week. But you can find the response already on the ANU website. And the feedback has been mainly around 6 areas. One of them is feedback on how to reduce staffing costs, how to increase efficiency and reduce duplications, some suggestions around non-salary savings, revenue generation, but also how to increase the experience of teaching and research here at ANU. And of course, there was some feedback from some that were asking for more detail and implementation processes. So next week on Tuesday, the Vice-Chancellor will hold an all-staff forum. Obviously the negotiations, particularly around salary, going on with the union. But on Tuesday we'll hopefully learn a little bit more about what the situation for ANU is. The plan is then for the colleges and portfolios to develop their plans, their budget plans and their implementation plans, and some of them will go for consultation next month. From a medical school perspective, I'm very pleased to say that the reduced budget that we had is good for us. We're under that budget, and we're now developing our 2021 budget, and of course across the college have discussions around the shortfalls of the budget and what changes need to be made across the college. And of course I'll keep you updated on that. Now, the High Benefit PhD Scholarship is available. This is a scholarship and 2 research awards that are being offered to support research on the ACT community's experience with Mr. Fluffy. Applicants and projects from all disciplines are invited. They close on the 18th of October, and details are available on the ANU website. And as I promised last week, we have turned our spotlight away from the teams within the medical school onto those that are part of the medical school that have contributed to the COVID pandemic effort, whether it'll be locally, nationally or internationally. And of course it's fitting that we start with the director of the school, Professor Imogen Mitchell. She has taken on a role as the clinical director of the ACT COVID-19 response, and on the website is information on her role and impact. And we're very proud to announce that Dr. Anna Olsen has been awarded a Young Tall Poppy Award. This award is given out for outstanding early career researchers, and Anna's research, as you know, is on public health and social science. We're very proud of you, Anna. Congratulations, well done and well deserved. And here's some more good news on awards. The Royal Australasian College of General Practice Awards were given away. And for New South Wales and the ACT, there have been some winners. So Dr. Duncan McKinnon, who's a GP down in Bega, has been announced as the GP of the year, and the GP practice at Kecskes is the General Practice of the Year for the ACT and New South Wales. Congratulations to the winners. We're very, very happy that you've got these awards, well deserved. And back to our students, Lucy Kirk, who's a Year 4 student who's working with Imogen Mitchell at the moment, has published a letter to the editor in the Medical Journal of Australia. The colleagues Torda et al. Have published a paper on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on medical education, and Lucy has given her comment on this, and this was good enough to be published in a very high-level journal as a letter to the editor. Well done, Lucy, and it's important not to think about publishing own research, but also commenting on others. And in the media this week, we have Associate Professor Louise Stone and Professor Chris Phillips, and they have been in the conversation, and particularly talking about budget funding that is great for Beyond Blue and Headspace, but may not help those who need it the most. There's a link here if you want to read the article. And otherwise in the media, we have seen Professor Peter Collignon again in 3AW Breakfast, the Canberra Times, the Australian Financial Review and Sky News, and Associate Professor Sanjaya Senanayake in 2CC, Radio National's Breakfast, The World Today, ABC Melbourne Drive, and Mamma Mia. And let's get to the events for the next fortnight. First of all, there's a webinar held by the Melbourne University on Tuesday the 13th from 3 to 4 o'clock, which is about the success of the Indigenous health sector during COVID-19 pandemic. And GP Synergy will hold a seminar which is also open to Year 4 students on Tuesday the 20th of October from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. on common upper limb presentations. Good presentation and preparation for your exam. The Medical Dean's webinar that was held on medical leadership has now recorded the meeting, and the meeting notes, the slideshows and the recordings are available on Basecamp, and we'll make them available as a link in the newsletter next week as well. The next Medical Dean's webinar will be held on the 22nd of October from 5 to 6 o'clock, and that'll be on Action on Medical Students' Health, a national framework. Feel free to tune in and learn what other medical schools are doing and what we can learn from each other. So that's all from me for this fortnight. I hope you're all okay. Remember to stay home if you're unwell. Maintain your physical distancing, but remain socially connected, and I shall see you again in 2 weeks. Have a great weekend. Bye.